In a random spot in London, a little girl runs desperately through a dark forest, trying to escape an unknown creature that relentlessly chases her. She hides behind a tree, but the beast approaches, and then blood splatters the area. In the city of London, we find the couple formed by Dave and his girlfriend Abby. The two are on their way to an isolated house in the forest that Dave rented. He comments that he was browsing the internet looking for hotels and found this house. Abby expresses that she likes the idea, and mentions that she would have liked to do something like this with her house while she's there with him. She shows her desire to stay with Dave, but he remains silent, creating a tense atmosphere. After a while, they arrive at the property and knock on the door in search of the owner. Abby asks if he informed the man about their late arrival, and Dave confirms that he did. She asks him to call the man's phone. Dave tries to do this but says he has no signal and steps away to try to get a connection. He finally gets a signal and makes the call, but the phone just rings and no one answers. Abby urges him to keep trying, as she hears something coming from inside, and Dave comments that it's going to voicemail. At that moment, a man appears behind Abby and asks what they want. Dave informs him that they rented the house for the weekend, but the man says they are late. He hands over the keys and brusquely states that they need to leave by noon tomorrow. When Dave asks for the Wi-Fi password, the man gets irritated by the question and quickly leaves the premises. Abby questions what is wrong with the man, and Dave replies that maybe he is just very lonely. The two enter the house, and Abby thinks everything is lovely, thanking him for the surprise. She informs that she is going to take a shower while Dave stays in the kitchen preparing dinner. After her shower, Abby goes to the bedroom to get ready, and while rummaging through some things, she finds photos of the owner with his family. Dave calls her to dinner, and he finishes the preparations. When he approaches the window, he sees something nearby the house but cannot identify what it is, as Abby returns and calls his attention, asking what he is doing. Dave, still suspicious of what he saw, says he thought he saw something. Abby jokes, asking if it's something better than her, and he responds that it's just something in his head, inviting her to dinner. Nearby, a creature watches the couple from a distance. Dave says he does not want something fleeting with her, desiring something definite. Abby is happy to hear this and approaches him, and soon the two share an intimate moment. After this, Dave decides to propose to her, but Abby says she needs to go back to the United States. She mentions that what they have is fleeting and that she needs to return to her normal life. Dave cannot believe what he hears and says he needs time to think. Abby puts the ring on and starts reflecting on this possibility while enjoying herself. Dave suddenly reappears at the door, startling her. She admits that she was an idiot with him and apologizes. As he approaches, she slowly begins to remove the ring. Abby hugs him and mentions that nothing lasts forever, to which Dave responds that only love lasts. Abby says she needs time to think, and Dave replies that they don't have much time for that. Annoyed, she states that she needs space and heads to the bedroom. As she reflects, a loud bang echoes through the room, and a shadow quickly passes outside. Abby assumes it's just a prank and declares that she's not in the mood for it. Dave appears and asks what happened. She questions if he was outside, but he insists he was cleaning the kitchen. Abby mentions she saw something pass outside, and Dave assures her it's nothing and goes back to the kitchen. After he leaves, Abby begins to search for her phone but cannot find it. She approaches the window, and at that moment, a branch hits the glass, startling her. Gathering her courage, she looks again and sees something in the forest, running to warn Dave. He says it's probably nothing important and invites her to check it out. The two go over there, but they can't see anything. Abby says she feels calmer, but still needs to find her phone, and Dave offers to help her. As they head upstairs, he notices that her phone is still ringing and comments that her phone might not be far. Abby remembers she might have left it in the bedroom and suggests looking there. As they continue the search, Dave spots something and calls for Abby. She says she doesn't see anything, and he suggests it might be the animal she saw earlier. While Dave searches, the creature begins to climb the stairs of the house. Hearing the footsteps, they both remain alert when something is knocked over outside. They go to check and find the door open. Dave asks if Abby left it that way. She replies that she didn't, and he immediately grabs the flashlight. When he steps outside to investigate, he finds nothing out there. Worried, Abby asks him to come back inside, and together they lock the door. Once more they regroup, but Dave realizes that the phone is no longer ringing. He picks it up and asserts that the phone is no longer connected. Abby asks where it is and requests him to call her phone. He tries, but says there is no signal. Abby suggests he try outside, and despite being reluctant, Dave agrees. He warns that the phone is ringing, but Abby says she can't hear it and suspects it is on silent mode. They return inside, and Dave does not notice the shadow behind him. At this moment, we discover that Sam, the owner, has Abby's phone and throws it away. Meanwhile, the couple attempts to reconcile, and Abby mentions that there is an option beyond marriage since she enjoys living with him. Dave understands the situation, and the two share an intimate moment. Then he tries to open the bedroom window but finds that all of them are locked. Curious, Abby asks why this is, and he suggests that maybe they are facing problems with thieves. Dave warns that he is going to step outside for a bit, and Abby says she will rest. Outside, he tries to open the locked window but cannot. Inside the house, Abby begins to hear noises and grows worried. As the sounds increase, she gets up to investigate, slowly walking through the house. She checks the door and realizes it is locked, so she decides to head down to the second floor. Abby sits in front of the mirror and begins to admire herself when Dave appears at the window, startling her. He approaches the other window and informs her that almost all of them are closed. Meanwhile, Sam hides, waiting for the right opportunity. Dave comments that the door locked when he left and asks her to open it. However, Abby demands an apology for being frightened, and Dave apologizes. Abby prepares to open the door when Dave sees someone passing quickly behind her. He warns that there's another person inside the house, and they both rush to the door. When they arrive, they find Sam, and Dave, frustrated, asks what he is doing there. Sam lies, saying he heard screams and came to see if they were okay. Dave questions why he thought they wouldn't be, and Sam replies that he doesn't understand what people in town usually do. Dave argues that this is why they need privacy. Sam apologizes and explains that people in the countryside always look after each other. Dave suggests he could have knocked on the door first and asks him to leave. Sam apologizes again and departs. Abby asks if he was really worried, but Dave says he doesn't know what to think anymore. She mentions that this is really scary, but they need to rest after a long day. The two prepare to sleep when suddenly the beast appears before them. Startled, they back away and watch the creature at the window. The beast exits the window and advances toward the door, but the two are quicker. The monster begins to pound ferociously on the door. Scared, Abby asks him to call the police, but his phone has no signal. Abby states there is signal outside, but he refuses to go out with the creature out there. The beast continues to try to force the door, and Dave tries to calm Abby, mentioning that whoever locked the windows did a good job. Abby asks if they are really just going to wait for the creature to come in. Dave responds that it's all they can do for now. She questions what that thing really is, and irritated, he replies that it's just a big animal. Unhappy with the answer, Abby expresses her desire to see the creature and asks for her flashlight. Dave informs her that the flashlight is upstairs, and the two rush upstairs. With the flashlight in hand, Abby lights up the area but finds nothing. Dave suggests they need to arm themselves, as they need to be ready in case the creature returns. While searching the house, Abby feels something strange under the rug. She warns Dave, who approaches to check and asks if she thinks there might be a door there. Lifting the rug, they discover there is nothing, which relieves them. Hours later, they begin to reflect on the situation. Abby says the creature might have left, but Dave thinks that's unlikely. She asks him to look out the window, and as he does so, he accidentally knocks over a vase, startling them. When Dave crouches to pick up the vase, the beast appears again and tries to attack him, but is blocked by the window. The creature disappears again, and soon they start hearing noises coming from the roof. The couple is terrified as the beast tries to enter from the upper part of the house. For a moment, everything goes silent, and they think the beast has given up. However, the creature quickly passes outside again, scaring them once more. Annoyed, Dave comments that it seems the beast is just having fun with them. The two are preparing for new attacks when suddenly the lights go out. Abby asks if this has to do with the creature, but Dave thinks the power just went out. He says he needs to locate the power box to turn it back on. Abby wants to know if he knows where it is, and he replies that it's probably outside. Dave comments that the battery on the flashlight won't last long and that he will need to go out to restore the power. Abby agrees and reminds him to try getting a signal to call the police. Before leaving, Dave looks out the window but sees no one. However, Sam is nearby, watching. Dave mentions that if Abby helps him, it will be faster, as they could split the tasks. The couple quickly goes out and sees Sam watching them. Abby yells for help, but Sam walks away. Dave comments that the man is not there to help. They then separate, with Abby going to look for a signal. Meanwhile, Sam finds the beast and tells it that it's time to feed. Dave then manages to find the power box and quickly restores the light. He returns to find Abby, but the monster appears and tries to attack them. Abby runs back into the house and they barely manage to escape. Inside the house, Dave asks if she managed to talk to anyone. Abby says that the phone started ringing, but the creature appeared, and scared, she dropped the phone outside. Frustrated, Dave raises his voice and scared, Abby splashes water on his face. Dave asks what that meant, and Abby replies that she was scared of him. Dave asks her not to do that again. During their conversation, he hears a noise and asks for silence. When he realizes it's his phone, he runs to the door and manages to find it. When he answers, the call is quickly cut off due to lack of signal. Heading upstairs, they notice a car approaching. The young cab driver warns that he forgot his wallet, and the two quickly exit the house. But suddenly, the beast appears behind the young man and brutally devours his arm. The couple retreats inside, with Abby distressed by the boy's screams. Dave checks the window and notices the beast is there. It soon moves away, and Abby, desperate, exclaims that they are going to die. Dave runs to the back door, where he feels the creature's scratches on the wood. Abby asks what he is trying to do, and he replies that the creature is looking for a way to get in. Dave asks her to stay there, as he is going down to check the situation downstairs. He takes a while to return, and Abby begins to worry. She walks toward the stairs and is frightened to notice that the light has gone out. However, she steels herself and descends, relieved to find Dave. He says the monster is furious and won't let them escape. Abby asks what they can do to save themselves, and Dave reveals his plan to lure the creature inside the house, leave the gas on, and blow everything up. Abby questions whether they couldn't just leave, and Dave says that option would be a last resort. He suggests they split the floors, with him staying downstairs while she takes care of the upper floors. Abby moves closer to the window when, suddenly, the creature reappears. Furious, it bursts through the door with force and invades the house. Dave hears Abby's screams and runs to help her. Upon arriving, he strikes the creature in the back, diverting its attention, while Abby remains paralyzed with fear inside the house. Dave quickly runs through the forest with the creature on his tail. Abby regains her strength and gets up to close the door. She is rummaging through the house when she notices mud on the floor, making her suspicious. Slowly backing away, she does not notice Sam behind her. He quickly subdues her and forces her outside, while Abby pleads with him not to do it. However, the man ignores her and takes her to the barn. He tells her to raise her hands, but she refuses, and he threatens to hit her with the gun. Back with Dave, he manages to hide from the creature that pursues him. Sensing the place is silent, Dave seizes the opportunity to try to escape and starts running, but the creature reappears and begins to chase him. Sam says he won't do anything to her for now and asks her to raise her hands again. Abby complies, and he begins to put a handcuff on her, but Abby tries to break free. She grabs the man's gun and tries to take it from him, but Sam is stronger and manages to knock her down. Sam tries to lift her, but Abby is too heavy, and the man cannot. While running, Dave is ambushed by the creature and thrown to the ground, and when he is about to be devoured, the two hear a whistle in the distance, and upon hearing it, the creature quickly leaves the location. Dave feels relieved but realizes he is injured. The monster reaches Sam, who tells it to go into the barn to devour Abby. When he is about to do so, Dave appears with a torch and warns that he will call the police. Sam states that this is unacceptable and orders the beast to go after the man. Dave doesn't waste time and quickly runs away. He manages to lure the creature into a trap, having set fire to a spot and left his blood-soaked shirt to attract the creature. Dave returns home, rushes to the bathroom, and bandages his wound. He prepares to rescue Abby and grabs his flashlight from the table. When he turns it on, he gets startled by the creature lurking nearby. He heads upstairs and tries to calm himself a bit, while the beast tries to get in. Sam approaches the house and opens the door, ordering the creature to enter and capture Dave. The monster invades the place and begins to search for Dave, who, upon realizing this, quickly hides behind a curtain while the beast tears everything apart in the house. When Dave notices that the creature has gone to another room, he begins to sneak outside, but bumps into a piece of furniture. The noise draws the creature's attention, and Dave rushes to leave. However, Sam is waiting for him armed outside. With no options, he returns inside and turns on all the stove burners. The beast soon appears and tries to attack him, but he is quick and runs outside. Before leaving the place, Dave throws his lighter on the ground and quickly exits. He watches the result from a distance, but soon realizes that nothing happened, discovering that there is no gas in the house. Then the beast leaps from the second floor. Meanwhile, Sam tends to Abby's wounds, and when she wakes up, she starts screaming for help. Abby pleads for her life and says she will do anything he wants. Realizing he does not want to negotiate, she asks what his wife would think of this. Hearing that, the man gets angry and asks what she knows about his wife. Sam says that she was the first of them and tried to warn her, but she didn't listen and paid the price. Irritated, Abby questions the nature of the monster, and Sam reveals that it is his son. She replies that it cannot be, but he insists that his son is pure and innocent. However, they need to consume some people to regain their humanity. Sam concludes that this is about to happen, and soon his son will not need him anymore. Abby argues that that is not his son, it is an abomination. Sam approaches, cuts her arm, and before leaving, observes that she resembles his wife. Meanwhile, Dave wanders through the forest and begins to hear Abby calling, so he starts searching for her. He explores the area and ends up finding the place where Sam discards the bodies. Back in the barn, Abby hears footsteps approaching. Thinking it is the beast, she closes her eyes and prepares for the worst. When Dave appears, she screams, but he quickly covers her mouth and asks for silence. He tries to free her, but informs her that he can't without the keys. Abby suggests that she and Dave need to get them from Sam, but he questions how. She says he should hide with the knife while she makes noise to lure him. When Sam arrives, he should attack him so they can escape together. Putting the plan into action, soon the old man appears. Dave quickly uses the knife to wound him and takes the keys from his pocket. Questioning what they will do with Sam, Abby states that they need to prevent him from causing harm to anyone else. Preparing to shoot, the creature reappears and attempts to attack, forcing them to flee. They try to escape in the car, but the vehicle won't work, so they run into the forest. The monster chases them and attacks Dave, causing him to lose the gun. Abby runs, grabs the fallen gun, and shoots the creature before escaping. She comes back to fetch Dave, and the two prepare to run. They begin to run, but halfway through, Dave gives up, injured and without strength. He tells her to go on to have a chance to survive. Abby declares her love for him and accepts his marriage proposal. When she is about to leave, the creature reappears. Furious, Abby lunges at it, firing, but the monster attacks and bites her neck. She falls to the ground, and the beast advances on Dave, quickly killing him. Sam emerges from the barn and approaches Abby, but finds something terrifying. Abby now transforms into a beast and attacks Sam, brutally killing him. The next day, Abby awakens in the forest, not understanding what happened. Soon she finds Sam's son, who has a large scratch on his face. She apologizes for what she did, but he asserts that it's not her fault, as her instincts took over. He says he transformed her into a beast because she reminds him of his mother. Sometime later, a group of people exits a party and hears a distant growl. Then the two werewolves appear and begin to attack them, thus concluding the story.